right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another round of coffee and questions. Like I always say, what are we going to talk about today? I want to talk about the 10-inch Hercules 15-amp compact job site table saw that they sell. Currently, it's $379 on the ad, and I'll show that to you here in a little bit when we go to questions and answers. Now, I don't own this. I went out with a friend of mine, Chuck. He bought one just yesterday, as a matter of fact, and we looked at it, and I told him, you know what? I own the DeWalt job site table saw, the 10-inch. If I had it to do over again, truthfully, I probably would have seriously considered buying this Hercules one. It's a damn good little table saw. Lots of good things that we'll talk about in the question and answer section. But first, I'm going to show you my setup, the DeWalt, the stand. Then I'm going to show you, we did actually a little tour inside of the store. And I'll show you, I played around with this thing. Then we'll go to questions and answers, and we'll do a little bit more of an in-depth, taking a look in depth at it. Okay, anyway, without delay, here we go. All right, let's play with the handle a little bit. Okay. Button. Good, nice button on this. Slides nicely. Nice guard. There's a close-up of it. And the fence, of course. Slides nice. Yep, smooth. No wiggle. Good fence. Okay, folks, so let's go ahead and start the questions and answers. Now, some of these comments are not mine. I'll let you know which ones are, which ones aren't, because I did play with this thing while I was out there, as you saw in the video. So let me take a look. Let's go ahead and get started. How's the gearing on it? I think it's got some pretty heavy-duty gears. I mean, I played around cranking this thing up and down and took a look inside. I think they're great. I mean, they're very sturdy looking. Yeah, it does. It comes with all the peripheral stuff. It comes with a push stick, anti-kickback. It comes with a nice blade. It's a damn good blade, really. I mean, from what I saw, and a friend of mine, we cut up a couple pieces of wood once we unboxed it at his house. And it's got a removable riving knife, and of course the guard. And all of it clips onto the side of the unit, which I thought made this really nice. I mean, because when we pulled this out of the box, other than having to put the guard and the riving knife on, there was no install, there was no putting anything together, which is nice. If you ever put some of these things together that you pull out of the box, you got to look at the instructions and kind of struggle through it a little bit. This comes complete, which I give 2 thumbs up. I thought that that's another good perk. Yeah, okay, somebody criticized it being small and all this. Listen for a minute. This is not a cabinet saw. It's a job site saw. It's good for like home construction and home hobbies. It's good to put in your truck. It's good to take to a job site and use. And it's nice. It's portable. I mean, those are the big pluses behind what it says above me. Job site table saw. No, I don't own it. A friend of mine, Chuck's the one that picked it up. We brought it back to where we all hang out. I own the DeWalt, like you saw in the pictures, and the DeWalt stand. Now, I'll tell you right now, and I'll leave you the link below, that no matter what you buy, these cheap, flimsy aluminum, I don't know, tube stands or whatever, it's not something I would buy. I paid more money for it. There's a link. I got it off Amazon. I did have to put it together. It ships in a box, but these are nice stands. It's got a nice foot brake on it. I don't particularly like the position where the foot brake is, but it's usable, it's doable. It comes with a nice wooden top. You could set this Hercules right on top of that stand, unless you find one that's better made. I got actually 2 of them. I have another one, for my industrial Delta miter box saw. That's what I was trying to say. So I have 2 of them. Bought the first one, liked it so much, I bought the second for my miter. So you want me to summarize what I thought of playing around with this? Like I said, I mean, had this been available when I got that DeWalt, I probably would have thought twice, and I might have gotten this Hercules. I mean, I'm really impressed with, the build quality on it. Somebody said, is it lightweight? Not any more than, my DeWalt. I mean, it's got some weight to it. I want it to. I don't want the whole thing made out of plastic, and it's not. It's easy to set up. It's solidly built. It's very easy to transport. I mean, after we got it out of the box at his house, we picked it up, set it on the truck bed while we makeshifted a stand for it to, get it up higher to be able to test it out and use it. It runs smooth. There weren't any vibrations. We cut, what did we cut? We cut some 1/2-inch plywood. It's a good blade, zips right on through there. The fence is 24 inches. Okay, somebody asked, what is the adjustability of the fence? It's 24 inches. It's a good workhorse, I suppose, for a job site saw. Got the finish on the table because one of the viewers said he didn't like the finish on the table. Okay, I don't know unless you can explain why. I mean better, but this tabletop is the same quality easily that DeWalt is that I own. It's got a quality finish to it, and all we did, because he's a believer in listening to me, fortunately, we put some Johnson's paste wax all over it when we first got it out of the box. We scrubbed it in, took it off with a towel, and he put a little bit on the bottom of that fence. This thing glides like it's going across the piece of glass or an ice skating rink. So Johnson's paste wax, I'll leave you the link below. I use it all the time. I use it on my wood turnings and a lot of wood furniture. It comes in handy, as well as putting it on the table top or the base on my table saws, my bandsaw, and my drill presses. And it's everybody complains about rusting and stuff. I scrub in a little bit of oil on these every 6-8 months or whatever, or WD-40 even. Wipe it really good and clean and dry. Put a coat of Johnson's paste wax. I don't have any rust issues. That's your side tip. What do I think of the blade included? Well, like I said, I think the blade's a damn good blade. I'd put it up there with Diablo and some of the rest of them. It's how many teeth? 48. We took a look at it in the in the literature, whatever that's in the box. It's a 48 tooth blade. Is it a finished blade? No. I don't want to say it's a cross-cut blade. And it says something about it being for rough cutting. I didn't have a problem. This thing makes absolutely perfectly fine cuts. Where do you put all the extras? They all store right on the machine. That's what I like. That's one of the things I really like about this. My DeWalt does this too. Everything's stored by, just fixing it right back onto the machine. So, when you're done using the wrench or you're done using any of the push stick or whatever, it smacks right back onto the side like you see here in the picture. I like it like that. It keeps things organized. I'm not searching all around my shop or some box or something. Looking for the tools. It's all right there. I consider that a big plus for this. Yeah, I don't really know how to answer your question. We cut up some plywood. We cut a 2x4, a 2x6, and just scrap wood that we had laying around when we were all standing around. There was about 4 of us, wanting to demo this and see, is it really that good of a saw? And the answer is yeah. Cuts through everything fine. So, hobbies, projects, home remodeling, anything like that, this is perfect. Trying to compare this, whoever wrote this to like a cabinet saw. No, you can't. They're two different animals altogether. If you've got this big jet or, one of these other brands that's a cabinet saw, you're probably, and with the big extension and all this stuff, you're not going to get it for this price. The other thing is, unless you're a cabinet maker and you're doing a lot of finish work, I'm not so sure why you would want one of these big cabinet saws. This thing's nice. It's portable. It doesn't take up a lot of room. You put it on a stand, like whether you buy one of these DeWalt stands that I did, or you build one or whatever, or you just want to pick it up and go set it in the corner of your shop. It doesn't take up a lot of room, and it's not heavy. So those are just, my thoughts on this. Yeah, so I find the compact size to be a huge plus, with this and the DeWalt. I'm not discrediting the DeWalt. I like them both. What would have changed my mind from buying one over the other is the price. And, that's really would have done it, because they're both equally good saws. I happen to like the Hercules a little bit better than the DeWalt. And one of the things that I liked on this, take a look at the picture over here and take a look at the switch. Now, somebody somewhere, whoever engineered this, put some real thought into the switch on this. And it's a good safety switch. And I played around with it while I was out there, punching the button and then hitting the big red part of it. It works fine. It's a good quality switch that they incorporated into the manufacture of this. You're asking a question about the capacity. I don't know. That's kind of a broad question. In the literature, it's a 15 amp machine, 24-inch rip fence capacity, 3 1/8 depth cut. That's what I can tell you about the specifications on it. Comments on the rip fence. Well, it's a telescoping extension mechanism that they use, which I think it not only works real well, I find it very nice to use. Now, I come from a time when, trying to position these rip fences, we measured both, on the upper part, the bottom part, in relation to the blade before we made cuts. And then, when they came out with newer, more upgraded models, and then they started to come out with this telescoping extension mechanism, I'm a believer. I mean, I love it because I've double checked the measurements after using this Hercules with one of the tape measures they had out there, and it seemed to be spot on every time. I would remove the fence, put it back on, I would extend it out, I'd slide it back in, I would check the measurements. It seemed to be spot on to me. So, I disagree with the comment where somebody goes, well, it's easy to get this thing out of alignment, the fence. No, it's not at all. Not if you're using it correctly and you have it placed in those tracks correctly. I totally disagree with you. This telescoping mechanism on the extension, it works perfectly fine. Can you talk about the construction of the tabletop? Well, it's primarily aluminum, and it's got a steel, like kind of a tube frame. I mean, it goes around it if you look at it. And the body, of course, is a thick plastic, but it's thick. Probably adds to the fact that it's a little bit more, lighter weight. That body doesn't really need to be sheet metal or anything like that. It looks very durable. It's very thick. And the rest of this, on the bed of this, I think the bed was machined, nicely. Whoever did it. It's a nice feel when you run your hand across it. Everything glides and works fine. Somebody else took a little bit closer look at it than I did. They said the internal dust duct and guards are cast aluminum or sheet metal, and they're not plastic, which is a big plus. Again, all the way around, I think that this is a very good, well-made machine. I give Harbor Freight 2 thumbs up on this, and if I ever need another one, this is probably the one that I'm going to go ahead and buy. And I love the switch on this, like I said. Ease of use. Pull it out of the box, plug this sucker in. On any tabletop, you're ready to go. There's no vibration, no movement. It runs very smoothly. Those are my comments. Those are the things that I think about it. One last thing, can you do dado joints on this? No, I don't think you can. Again, in buying it, I wouldn't have expected to be able to do dado joints on this. In that case, you're going to spend hundreds more to get what you want unless you buy one used off Craigslist or in the aftermarket. But the dado part of this doesn't bother me for as little as I do. I've got, 2 routers that I could use, to create my own dados and, with the guides. So for infrequent as I would use that, not for me. You might, if you're doing a lot of dado work, you might want to look at cabinet saws. So anyway, those are just my thoughts. Yeah, dados, I would get definitely, if you're cutting a lot of dado joints, I would definitely look at a cabinet saw, maybe even in, the used market if you don't want to spend the thousands or, spend well over $1,000. Easy to get a good cabinet, table saw. So for dados, I can make perfect dados with that router. I don't want to go on and on about that. It's not really, I wouldn't have expected it, like I said, for this kind of a machine, but it is totally adequate for everything else. I would put it neck and neck with that DeWalt. Actually, I'd put it maybe just a little bit ahead because I really like the mechanism on the fence, that telescoping, mechanism that they have for the extension, and I love this switch. So those are my thoughts. I'm the Home Handyman. I hope you click subscribe. I hope you like, and I hope you learned something from the video. Hit the notification bell. If you disagree with me, drop a constructive comment below and let me know what it is that you didn't like about it. If there's something else that you think that this machine should have had on it, I want you to drop it in the comment below, because I did talk to a representative at Harbor Freight. They do read and watch these videos and look for suggestions on, upcoming manufacturing. So, all right, I'm talking on and on and on. I hope you click subscribe. I'll see you folks on the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend or a great day. Bye-bye.